So when you unbox your pump, that's how it comes. You have your pigtail, which is specific for the F150 pickup truck. It will not work on your Mustang or on your Taurus. You'll have a set of bolts. The stock bolts cannot be reused. It should not be reused. This is 12.9 high strength bolts. That's your pump. Make sure that these lids are always on the pump. If it comes without, please call us. Take it out. Now just to show you where these bolts go. There's two thick ones, a little short, and two thin ones. The thick ones bolt the flange to the engine. So when you clock the flange, they go here. There and there. So they sink into the flange. And then when we clock the pump into the final position, the small bolts go here. That's how the pump assembles. Okay, one big rule with this pump, always keep those lids on. They are to protect the pump insides from dirt, and dirt is what kills your pump. Then you can clog this flange. You never want to pull it off, because then you lose this O-ring. If you put the flange on without the pump, you will mount it cocked, and then when you put the pump back on, you will break the O-ring. So leave the flange on, leave this O-ring on, and just clog the pump on the flange. It comes delivered in this position, but you want to clog it like that so that the mounting holes are accessible. And then on the engine we can clog it to the final position. The overall installation gets way easier if you unclip this hose and just move it to the side, have it hang there, and then both ports are accessible. So now when you mount it, put the flange in this position that both bolt holes are accessible. Always make sure the caps are on, because there's always dirt. You don't want the dirt in the pump. And then just put it in, make sure the follower is in. Get that hose a little bit out of the way. Now insert the big bolts. Oh, you need a wrench. Okay, now that you have the flange bolts torqued down, next step is clog the pump and torquing these bolts down. So you want to put them in first. That makes it easier to find the right clocking. Turn it counterclockwise till the bolts, move this a little bit out of the way till the bolts snap in. Now they snapped in. Okay. Finger tighten it a little bit. And then you take a 3/16 Allen wrench. Start torquing a little bit until it starts pulling. Next bolt. Now this one pulls, so now you have to go quarter turn at a time, not more. That one has a little mess now. Bear with me if it's not exactly a quarter. It's like one turn of your wrist. Same thing again, make sure that the caps are still on the bolts. Okay, just cooked a little bit. Now we're good. tight, that one is tight. Good. Now that you have this nut and this bolt open up that holds down the high pressure line, you can remove this cover here, and then you will see that the high pressure line can be moved, bend it up a little bit, and it's not perfectly aligning. So you got to bend this high pressure line a tiny little bit, like 2 to 3 degrees. This cone has to be perfectly in the center of the high pressure connector. So as you can tell, it's not perfectly aligning. What you need to do, you need to bend it a little bit up. In a perfect world, you have a special pipe bender for that. But a good best practice is if you take this wrench here, move it over in that way, then you got some leverage on it. Move it a tiny little bit. That's perfect already. So you can see it sits perfectly center. It snaps right in. What you want to do now, if you tighten the nut, is push it on, hold it there, and then tighten the nut by hand. It's so easy. So don't try to pull the high pressure line into position somehow with the nut. It will cock. It's cocked already. So always push it in position, hold it there all the way in, and it's that easy. Okay, now that the high pressure line is connected and torqued down, next thing is the inlet fitting. So now is the time to remove this cap, not earlier. And without wasting any time, just take this fitting, push it back on, snap it in place, and you're good. So last step after your both fuel connectors is the electric pigtail. As you can tell, the connectors are not the same, but that's what we have this adapter for. So make sure that you have these aligning pins here, that they're properly aligned with the mate, and then it snaps in easy. Always make sure it really snaps in, and then take the other male side, the pump side, and make sure that the release clip is on the back end of the pump. Click, and now you're good. Okay, now that you're installed, when you fire it for the first time, it will take a little bit. It will start and run without any tuning changes.